Peace and welcome back to original content. It is I, O.G.B.O CracBaby, and this that they fiend fuck. Today I'm gonna give you I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'ma let it show. As a child, I did not know what that song was about. But yeah, today I'm gonna share with you two coming out stories that both take place in the same institution, which was James River. Okay. The first one, I may have loosely spoken on this in another video, but didn't tell the whole story, how everything unfolded. So I maybe got roughly about a year left on my sentence. I'm up James River, as I said earlier, and they started doing this cutting meals back to 2 meals on the weekend. To do it, basically they took breakfast and took lunch away and introduced brunch. So you eat brunch and you eat dinner. It was kind of slick, on their part. But so anyway, I come in the cafeteria. It's the very first day, if my memory served me correctly, that they introduced this brunch idea. I come in the cafeteria, and a friend of mine flagged me over to his table. He's sitting at the table with an older guy. I know him, we played baseball a few times together. I wasn't big on sports, but a few times I did play. He was on the team or whatever. Can't think of his name offhand, but he was an older guy. He did 20-some years. So he's sitting at the table, and a friend of mine sitting at the table. So I go over. We talk about whatever it was we was talking about, and they call him for a visit. So he gets up, he leaves the table. I haven't even started on my food yet. I'm waiting on someone to bring me something from the kitchen. I think a chicken sandwich, because I worked in the kitchen. I had to hook up. So anyway, while I'm sitting there with the old head, his son comes in. And I've been peeping his son the last couple of weeks. He's one of those who run behind the sissies. And I know it was his son. So his son come over to the table. And his dad could start going in on him. Now I gotta sit here and pretend I'm not breaking one of the cardinal rules in prison: ear hustling. I gotta pretend like I'm not ear hustling. So he sits down and the conversation goes sort of like this. Man, don't bring your silly ass over here, your weak ass over here. And he's like, Dad, man, go ahead. Not today, man, not today. No, man, today. You calling your mama, she's sending you money, and you giving all your money to a boy. You ain't only a homosexual, and this not the word he using, but I'm not trying to get flagged. You're not only a homosexual, but you're weak too. At some point, the dad asks, are you even getting some from the boy. And his answer wasn't a straight up no. It wasn't a yes. It was more like, man, you know, we cool or, and his dad, you know, go at him. What? You got your mama sending you money and you taking care of this boy. You ain't even getting nothing. Look, so I'm there at this time. You know, I kind of got my head down. I'm trying to hold it by laugh. I'm trying so hard not to reveal my ear hustle. You know, I mean, even though it's obvious, you know, because I'm right there. But I'm not trying to, you know, make an awkward moment or situation even more awkward. So I'm just there kind of like looking at my food, playing with my grits or whatever. And as if things could not get any worse, in comes the homosexual. The dad, like, man, that don't make no sense. That ugly ass goddamn boy. My son running behind this ugly ass boy, and you know he's going on like that. A couple minutes go by, and I don't know if his son flagged him. I don't remember, or if he just walked over. But brace yourself. So he comes over. I know if anything else happened, I'm gonna lose it. He comes over, and I don't know if he's trying to be funny. I don't know, but he comes over. He sits down. He kind of postures himself like, look in the direction of the dad and say, so, what do I call you? Oh, Jesus. I got up, I left. I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could tell you about this particular story, but I left. Because I would have created a whole situation had I stayed. I just couldn't hold it together no longer. I swear it's one of the funniest things that ever happened that I ever witnessed. Okay? The second story is a little different. You know, this, I won't call the guy name, you know, out of respect or whatever. And this one still kind of, you know, gets me, you know, in sort of like a little vibe every time I think about it, you know. So me and the cat, we either transferred to James River the same day or within a day or so apart. Because whenever I think about the way my mind works, whenever I think about my early days in this particular institution, he's in the imagery, you know, how my mind works. So we hit it off immediately. Had some things in common. Both from Richmond. Both were students of Islam. You know, he practiced Islam on the street. With a group of Muslims that they wasn't under Minister Farrakhan. I think they was sort of like an independent mosque, just basically doing their own thing, you know, trying to keep to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as they understood it. So, immediately, like I said, we hit it off. I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let me put that out there. But whenever you mention the father's name, I put aside little things that we can sidestep and try to see the bigger picture. You know, everybody's not like that, but you know, I try to be that way. But so we hit it off. You know, I let him use my trimmers. Immediately I get a job in the kitchen. He comes later, but before he get a job in the kitchen, he's sitting in the dorm all day, so I let him use my TV or whatever, you know. But it's this little thing he used to do every now and again, you know. And to this day, I mean, I believe in making eye contact when I talk or whatever. But I don't like a person to stare at me in my face. It's just awkward. And he would stare at me when I'm talking, and from time to time kind of make like puppy dog eyes. And you know, it was very weird, you know. But I still never thought that, you know, well, I'll be honest, it crossed my mind he might be. But, you know, I ain't really have any evidence of it. So, long story short, he starts working in the kitchen. After he in the kitchen for a little while, I started noticing him hang with this cat named Lily. Lily was an older cat, one of them muscle bound, you know, like I told you. You gotta watch them muscle cats, right? Them lust muscles, remember? Those muscle ladies, those muscles ain't about you, it's about them boys. But anyway, he started hanging with Lily. And, you know, I pull up on him one day, you know, out of concern. Because, you know, this was his first penitentiary, well, other than receiving, this is the first penitentiary he was at. And I figured maybe he just don't know, you know, and I'm telling him, look, the whole purpose for Lily, you know, kicking it with you is he gonna try to flip you, you know what I mean? He basically tell me mind my business, and you know, and our relationship kind of fall apart at that point. You know, he said some disrespectful things one night, and I'm not gonna go into it. And you know, we just went a little too far, but I kind of backed away from him, and sure enough, maybe a couple more weeks or so go by, and one day, I think it's during the month of Ramadan, and I'm one of the cooks for Ramadan. Limited staff, you know, we basically running the kitchen ourselves. I come from the freezer, you know, and I must have been in the freezer a couple minutes looking for something. And when I bend the corner, I catch him, you know, in the manager's office, the kitchen manager's office, on his knees, and, you know, Lily's sitting in front of him. And like I said, that one always kind of punched me in the gut a little bit. I didn't see that coming, and it's rarely I'm surprised. And he see me. We never spoke about it, and after that, he kind of, you know, he was out. You know, he couldn't hide anymore. I don't even think he wanted to hide anymore. I think sometimes they be glad to get caught. You know, that must be hell to not be able to live your truth. You know, I encourage anybody, if that's who you are, be that, you know. Never mind what somebody think, you know. Don't, you know, you gotta be who you are. You know, but yeah, those my two stories about, you know, the coming out subject. You know, continue to support me, listen to me, subscribe, share, comment. I told you, YouTube ain't breaking me off. They got my content. They flag everything that I put up to where I can't get no money from my videos. But they keep my videos on their platform so they can get money from it. You know, if you want to support me, man, because this is my content, man. You know, it's no different than you going out to see a celebrity, or you going out to see a up and coming, you going out to see a musician or whomever, man. Support me. $1. Cash App, $sign RenardoRashid. That's RenardoRashid. See you on the next one. Peace and hair grease.